The rate at which prices are rising has remained the same for a second month at 8.7%. There had been hopes we'd see a fall in inflation this morning. But despite moves by the Bank of England to bring it in line by increasing the cost of borrowing, there's been no change. This is what the Chancellor had to say in the last few minutes.
Well, today's figures strengthen the case for the government to stick to its guns. No matter what the pressure from left, right or centre, we won't be pushed off course. Because if we're going to help families, if we're going to relieve the pressure on people with mortgages, on businesses, we need to squeeze every last drop of high inflation out of the economy. And if you look at what's happening in other countries, you can see that rises in interest rates do bring down inflation over time. That will happen here, but we need to be patient, we need to stick to the course, and then we'll get to the other side.
Well, our business correspondent, Gurpreet Narwan, is out in North London for us this morning. And Gurpreet, what does this mean for most of us? Essentially, things are not going to get any better anytime soon.
Yeah, if there was any doubt over whether the Bank of England will have to raise interest rates again tomorrow, this has ended it. Inflation, as you said, the headline rate was unchanged at 8.7%. Economists thought it would come down to 8.4%. So this is bad news for policymakers. It's bad news for the government, which has made halving inflation one of its chief policy aims. And 8.7%, that's still more than 4 times the Bank of England's 2% target. And nowhere is this more obvious than in places like these grocery stores up and down the country, which are grappling with food price inflation of 18.3%. I'm joined by David Josephs, Chief Executive of this deli here in North London, Panzers Deli. David, tell me about the kind of cost your business is facing.
Over the last 12 months, we've had around an 18% increase in fruit and vegetables. That was the first knock-on, and then as it progressed, it moved into the grocery and grocery lines, where we've averaged over the last 12 months around 15%, and in fish, probably around 30% increases.
Thank you, David. But of course, it's not easy to pass these kind of costs on to consumers who are battling with price hikes across the economy. And when we strip away volatile items like food, like energy, and look at underlying price pressures in the economy, well, core inflation rose to 7.1% last month. And that's worrying for policymakers because although we're told that inflation is a global problem, unlike our counterparts in the US and the in the US and in Europe, core inflation in the UK is rising. And all of that makes it even more likely that the Bank of England will have to raise interest rates again tomorrow.